19, 8 assists. 1 steal. You know, 1, 2, 3 turnovers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in double figures. Almost there. Ano sinasabi? Good job. Tignan mo yung plus minus mo. Plus 33 RP. Good job. Good job.
The Blackwater Boston clinched their first victory of the conference at the expense of Northport. Congratulations to our player of the game, RK Ilagan, and Coach Jeff Carriazo. Coach Jeff, what an offensive explosion, highlighted by a 40-point third quarter. From a first close half, how did you raise the sense of urgency at halftime? And how did you see your men embrace the challenges you set come the third quarter that they were able to follow through all the way to the end of the game?
No, I think it's really just, you know, because we got our butts kicked a little bit the first two games, we wanted to take advantage of the 12 days in between games, and for the most part, you know, it wasn't perfect at practice. You know, a lot of challenges, but guys never stopped working hard. You know, so the simple focus is go back to the drawing board and push more, get better. And today it showed. The things that stand out to me the most is we were pretty much competitive or even with the rebounds, which is something we lost majorly in the first two games. And then we had our conference high with 24 assists. So when you share the ball, move the ball, good things happen. And then hopefully this is the start of them really, truly buying in and understanding that. You know, it makes life easier for one another when you play together. So tonight it happened. We just got to make sure it keeps going.
Thank you so much, Coach Jeff. RK, after a 19-point outing last game, sabi mo that you had to find less opportunities for yourself and instead set up your teammates and give them good looks. Today, nagawa mo pareho. Ano mga nakita mo kontra Northport tonight kaya nagawa mong iset up ang iyong mga teammates while also pouring in your own points para maabot ang inyong 120 points?
Bago ko sagutin, batiin ko lang yung asawa ko and yung anak ko. And siyempre yung nanay tatay ko, and Tita Lara, and Tito Dong, and si Boss JR ng EOG, then Boss Jonas ng JCA. Yun lang, ginawa lang namin yung kung ano yung ginagawa namin sa practice. Then maganda yung energy namin today kasi yun nga, nag-start sa magandang pasahan namin. So pagka dapat gawin, kung ano yung maayos para ma-turn around namin yung conference namin. So, yun lang. Naglaro lang kami as a team. Then, dumipensa kami. Yun yung pinaka-importante.
Coach, two things. Cedric and Christian, they struggled last game, but tonight they were the top two scorers. Then, second, you got contributions from BJ, Tori Malilin, Richard Escoto. How big were they tonight, especially in that second half pull away?
Yeah, crucial. So tonight, I think where we want to give credit is really just everyone stepped up and played well. No, so regardless if they were starting or coming off the bench, guys were prepared to play. So that's really the attitude you have to, you know, have each and every game. You have to understand that you are needed and you're reliable. So it's important that you make yourself reliable and ready to play. And that was my challenge for them tonight.
Coach, you got Abu in a trade last Wednesday. How obviously his best years were with you at Alaska. Will you try to maximize him the same way like you did when he was at Alaska and Converge?
Well, hopefully his best years are still ahead of him. No, so we were happy to acquire him because we felt there was a void there in the type of big that he is. You know, one that can rebound, one that has quick feet. And then one that's obviously familiar with me and I'm familiar with him. So, you know, we're happy with Abu. He only practiced one day yesterday, so putting him out there tonight was a bit of a risk, but I think he handled it well. What I like is he has, you know, it's just one game, but he showed maturity, you know, despite, again, just coming in one day. And we hope that as he gets more comfortable, understands the system more, he'll even, you know, be able to showcase what he has.
Coach, good evening. Coach, speaking of the trade, was it difficult to let go of Quikete?
Well, it's never an easy thing to let go of someone, to trade someone. At the end of the day, I think the goal is to try to improve your team. So there was a void. There's a void in our bigs. Is really, that there's no question there, especially for all Filipino. So we're hoping, we wanted to improve that aspect, and sometimes you got to give up something to get something, and that's exactly what happened. So I think it's a win-win. Coach Bonnie loves JK, from the college days, playing against him, and remember he's formerly teammates of Nelly. No, so he's in a good position there, and we felt like Abo being with us is also in a good position.
Coach BJ Andrade, another player you've got in the trade,
Yeah.
also played well. I think his
Yeah.
best game
Right.
in a Blackwater.
That's true. Silang dalawa ni Troy Malilin. So they both came out and played their best game so far this conference. We hope that, one thing we like about those two, they work hard and they do what's asked of them. And we like the defensive mindset that they bring. And so that was the reason why we wanted to bring them over. So, like I said, it's just one game. The goal is to be consistent, and now we have to prepare and be better for our next game.
Coach, I'm speaking of you're looking for consistency. When you come back on May 2, you got NLEX, which beat TNT.
Yeah.
Then May 7, you got Trainer Shine,
Right.
semi-finalist last
Yeah.
4 conferences. How crucial is that stretch?
Every game is a tough game for us. Every game is like a championship game for us. So we have to understand it doesn't get easier. Alam mo namin yun. So as a conference progresses, the goal is to always try to get early wins. And as your team is feeling better and getting and hitting their stride, you know that every game is a tough game and a tough matchup. So the goal is to prepare well versus NLEX, who's obviously playing well under Coach Jong. Lots of good players there, so we have to be good. Okay? Thank you.
That wraps up our post-game press conference. Congratulations and thank you to the Blackwater bossing.